Hello children, let's come back to our maths class. Today we are going to continue with exercise 4.2. We have already started with exercise 4.2 and we have done some sums. Yes children, that is we dealt with the sums that were based on Thales theorem. Today we are going to continue with our exercise 4.2. Come on children, take down your classwork. Take down your classwork. Write down today's date. Write down today's date. We are just going to continue with the exercise. So we have completed till sum number 3. Yes children? Yes. We have completed till sum number 3. Today we are going to start with sum number 4. Come on. Write down the question. In figure, if PQ parallel to BC and PR parallel to CD, prove that AR upon AD is equal to AQ upon AB, and the second part is QB upon AQ is equal to DR upon AR. This is what you have to prove, and they have given you a figure also. So you have to draw the figure. Come on, take down the question and you have to draw the figure. Come on, start children. Draw the figure neatly. You have to use your scale and pencil. No one is just going to draw a rough figure. Be careful. So from exercise 4.2, we are continuing our fourth sum. Let's have a figure over here. What is the name given? It's A, B, C. B is here. A, B, C, D, P, Q, R. So this is the figure. Are you doing the figure children? Draw it neatly. Draw your figures neatly. I hope you people have completed your figure. Okay children? Shall we go with the sum? Okay. Before we start the proof part, let us read the question once again. Let us check whether we get some information from the question. What is the question given to you? In the figure. So in this figure, PQ is parallel to BC. Where is PQ? Okay. This PQ is parallel to BC. I have told you how to write the symbol for parallel. The symbol shows that PQ and BC is parallel. So here PQ is parallel to BC. Okay. Then what else they have given you? PR is parallel to CD. So PR is parallel to CD. So this is the second parallel. So we have two parallel lines. One is PQ parallel to BC and one is PR parallel to CD. Okay, now we are just going to try to prove the first part. So write down here, given, what is given? I am just going to consider one part at a time, okay children? So given, first one, PQ is parallel to BC. I am going to take this part, PQ is parallel to BC, given PQ parallel to BC. Therefore, in triangle, so I am just going to consider a triangle which consider this parallel lines. So where is this parallel lines lying? This parallel lines is lying in the triangle ABC. Just see the figure carefully children. When you just observe the figure carefully, you have two triangles over here. That is, one is ABC, and for a triangle ABC you have the parallel line PQ and BC. Okay children? And when you just see the triangle ADC, you get again a set of parallel lines, that is PR and CD. So what are we going to do? We are going to consider two triangles separately, that is first triangle separately, and here we are going to apply the basic proportionality theorem. You know that why are we applying this BPT? We apply BPT because here we have the parallel lines. Are you getting my point children? Yes. So if you have a parallel line, we can go for the BPT. So we are going to use a BPT and we are going to get the required answer. Okay. So PQ is parallel to BC. This is what is given to us. So in triangle ABC by BPT. Okay, by BPT. How to go? You have to just take from the common part, that is ABC. So here you have this line, yes? So I'll be taking AP upon PC. Are you getting my point, children? How to write the ratio? AP upon PC is equal to AQ upon QB. So you have to find out a proper common vertex. See, I cannot start from C, okay? I cannot start from C because I'll get CP upon PA. But from here, I just don't have anything. Similarly, I cannot choose the vertex B because here I'll get a form of ratio like BQ upon QA. But for this side, I'll not get the ratio form. So you have to choose a proper vertex. So what are we going to do here? I'm going to choose the vertex A. So what I get here, AP upon PC is equal to AP upon PC is equal to AQ upon QB. Okay, this is what I get. So what we get here? Come on, children. I hope you people are clear with this step. So we get that AP upon PC is equal to AQ upon QB. This is from the first part. That is, I have just taken the first triangle, ABC. Okay, let me take the second triangle over here. I have already told you we can apply the BPT because we have here parallel lines. If we don't have this condition, we cannot use the BPT. So now write down here, PR is parallel to CD. PR is parallel to CD. Therefore, in triangle ACD, therefore, in triangle ACD by BPT, what I get, from where are you going to start? Be careful, children. For A, if I start from AC, I have a ratio part here, I have a ratio part here. But for C, I don't have a ratio, and for D also, I don't have a ratio. So you are going to follow from A. So what you get here? AP upon PC, AP upon PC is equal to, see here, AP upon PC. That is, I am going to consider this triangle. Are you just looking carefully, children? This is very easy. Very easy, that is, you are just applying the theorem, that's all. So AP upon PC is equal to AR upon RD. AR upon RD. So what do you get here? AP upon PC is equal to AR upon RD. Okay, what was the thing that we have to prove, children? What was the first part? We have to prove AR upon AD is equal to AQ upon ABS. Mostly we have arrived at the proof part, yes? So just take this as number 1, children. Put this as number 1. And put this as number 2. Just observe the ratios carefully. AP upon PC is equal to AQ upon QB. Okay, AP upon PC is equal to AQ upon QB. And here AP upon PC is equal to AR upon RD. So here also you have AP upon PC, and here also you have AP upon PC. So from 1 and 2, what you can say? From 1 and 2, I get AQ upon QB is equal to AR upon RD. This is what we get from the first part. That is, we have just found the first part by using 1 and 2. What is that? AP upon PC and AR upon RD. That is from the second triangle, that is ACD. And from the first one, I get AP upon PC is equal to AQ upon QB. So in 1 and 2, the AP upon PC part is common. So you can take the remaining part to be equal. That is, AQ upon QB is equal to AR upon RD. That was the first part of the proof. Yes? Okay, just you write down. Hence proved. Just mention your first part. Write down the part first. I hope you people are clear. Here we are just applying the basic proportionality theorem, and we have proved the answer. Okay, now let's go for the second part. The second part is very simple. Let's see how to do the second subpart. Okay, shall I rub the first part, children? I'll rub this part here. Now listen here carefully. What is the thing that we have to prove? For the second part, we have to prove QB upon AQ is equal to DR upon AR. What is that? QB upon AQ. This is equal to DR upon AR. Is already we have proved AR upon RD. Okay, this is the second part we have proved, yes children? Yes, we have proved the second part. It is AQ upon QB is equal to AR upon RD is the second part. The first part is AR upon AD. Yeah? So this is the second part, just no problem. We are just doing the second part first, that's all, no problem. You can just put here number first part, okay? Just you take down that as second part. We have proved the second part first. So this is what the first part we have to prove here. Because already we have proved the second part first. Because when we just apply the basic proportionality theorem, we get the second part first, okay? So no need to mention 1 and 2 part, okay? Just we'll keep it as it is, because here we don't know which part we are going to get first. So just keep it as it is, no need to mention first part and second part. You just applied the BPT and we got the first part. One part we have got, that is out of 2, we got one part. So just keep it as it is. That is AQ upon QB is equal to AR upon RD. This is what we get. So children, no need to write down this. Just leave it. Just complete till here. So now what is the thing that is left out? I'll just write down for my reference. Okay children, do not write this part. So we have to show AR upon AD is equal to AQ upon AB. AQ upon AB. This is what I have to find out. AR upon AD is equal to AQ upon AB. Okay children, just here a small manipulation. Let us have a small check whether we can do that step or not. Listen here carefully. If I do here, just listen here carefully children. If I do here, if it is AR, it is what we have got here. AR upon RD is equal to AQ upon QB. Okay, I am just going to start with this part. So what we have proved AR upon RD is equal to AQ upon QB. This is not the answer. You just listen to me. You may have a question why we are not doing a step like this. So you have to check whether which step are we going to apply. That is whether you are going to take the ratio as it is or whether you have to take the ratio in the reciprocal manner. See, we have two ways of doing the sum. Okay children? So we have to check whether how we are going to get the answer. We are going to get the answer with the same ratio or whether we are going to get the answer with a reciprocal. So let me check with the same answer. So what is the ratio I have got here? It's AQ upon QB is equal to AR upon RD. This is what we have proved. Okay. Now what you are going to do? I'm repeating, this is just a checking purpose. You are not going to do the sum right now. Just listen to me carefully. Okay, so here plus 1 is added on both sides. Let us add plus 1 on both sides. So AR upon RD plus 1 is equal to AQ upon QB plus 1. So what we are doing? We are just checking the sums, okay? We are just checking whether we can take the same ratio or whether you have to take the reciprocal of the ratio. So what you get here? AR plus RD. See, just cross multiplied. So what you get here? AR plus RD upon RD is equal to AQ plus QB upon QB. Are you clear children with the step? So what we have done, we have proved one part. Yes, so we have taken the same proved part. And now what are we doing here? We are just adding 1 to it. So when I add 1 to it, now what you are doing? You are taking the LCM of it. So what is the LCM you get? AR, RD into 1, RD. So AR plus RD upon RD. This is equal to AQ plus QB upon QB. Getting my point? AR plus RD upon RD is equal to AQ plus QB upon QB. So what is AR plus RD, children? AR plus RD is AD. So okay, AD upon RD you get, yes. And here what you get? AQ plus QB, what you get? You get AB upon QB. I think this is not the thing that we have to prove, yes, children. We don't have to prove this part. I don't want AD upon RD. So what we have to do is we have to take the reciprocal. So let us take, choosing this method is not correct. We are not able to get the answer when we choose the same ratio. That's why I have told you that we have to try whether you have to take the same ratio or whether you have to take the reciprocal of the ratio. So I tried by the same ratio and I am not able to get the required answer. That is, this was the first part that we have to prove, yes. So we are not able to get the required answer. So now what are we going to do here? We are going to take the reciprocal of the ratio. Why are we taking the reciprocal of the ratio? Because when I took this ratio, I am not able to receive at the correct answer. So what you have to do? You have to take the reciprocal. Come on, let's take the reciprocal over here. So what do you get? What is the reciprocal of here? So write down here, AQ upon QB is equal to AR upon RD. This is what we have proved. So taking reciprocal, when I take reciprocal, what I get here? QB upon AQ is equal to RD upon AR. Clear? You get QB upon AQ is equal to RD upon AR. So now here, what are we going to do? The same procedure that we followed for the ratio. Yes, what we did? We added 1 on both the sides. Come on, let us add 1 on both the sides. So let's add here. So I get QB upon AQ plus 1 is equal to RD upon AR plus 1. Have I taken the steps correctly? Yes, what you get? QB upon AR, QB upon AQ plus 1 and DR upon AR plus 1. Okay, let's take the LCM over here. So I get here QB plus AQ upon AQ, just cross multiplication. This is equal to RD plus AR upon AR. Getting the point, children? Is it clear? So do not get confused with the sum. Here we started with the sum. Yes, we started with the proof and they have given us 2 parts. So we just applied the basic proportionality theorem, and when we applied the basic proportionality theorem, we got the second part first. Okay, so that's not a matter. We got the second part first. Okay, once you get the second part, you have to check whether you have to take the same ratio for the proof of the second part or you have to take the reciprocal of it. So we checked the by the same ratio. So we were not able to get the answer. So what we are doing here? We are taking the reciprocal of it. So this was the proof part. We took the reciprocal. Now once you take the reciprocal, you have to just interchange. Reciprocal means what? Writing the numerator in the denominator and denominator in the numerator. Just interchange the numbers. Okay, so I have taken the reciprocal here. So once you take the reciprocal, what are you going to do? You have to add 1 on both the sides. Whatever changes you do, it should be done on both the sides, on the LHS as well as the RHS. Okay, children? So we added 1 over here. So when you add 1, you are going to take the LCM. So when you take the LCM, what do you get? QB plus of AQ upon AQ. This is equal to RD plus AR upon AR. That's all. Okay, come on. Let's go for the further step. What is QB plus AQ, children? What is QB plus AQ? QB plus AQ. What do you get here? AB. I'll just write down the proof part that to be done, okay? So that it will be easy for me to check the answer. So AR upon AD. This is equal to AQ upon AB. Okay. So this is the part that is left to prove. Okay. So when I add BQ and I add AQ, what are we going to get? We are going to get the whole line segment AB. So I have written here AB upon AQ. Clear, children? Okay. Now let us add RD and AR. Where is RD? Okay, when I add RD and when I add AR, what I get? When I add RD and when I add AR, what do you get? You get the whole line segment, that is AD. So this is AD upon AR. Okay. So what we have got here? We have got AB upon AQ. This is equal to AD upon AR. Are you clear, children? Very simple thing. So when you add RD and AR, you get AD. So now here, I just don't want in the form of AB upon AQ. I want in the form of AQ upon AB. Okay. So here again, what are we going to do is, we are going to take the reciprocal. So that on taking reciprocal, we get AQ upon AB is equal to AR upon AD. Hence proved. So we have already proved the first part. That is not the first part. We have proved one proof over there, and this is the second proof that we have proved. So AQ upon AB is equal to AR upon AD. Clear, children? Just write down the answers. Let's go for the next question. Then on the fifth question, rhombus PQRB is inscribed. Rhombus PQRB is inscribed in triangle ABC. So inscribed means what? A rhombus is placed inside a triangle such that angle B is one of its angle. P, Q and R lie on AB, AC and BC respectively. If AB is 12 centimeter and BC is 6 centimeter, find the sides of PQRB of the rhombus. So you have to find sides PQRB of the rhombus. Okay, let's start with the sum, children. For sum number 5, they have not given the figure, so it's our work to go for the figure. So mostly in a geometry, we have to represent the information in the form of figure. So once you get the figure, by looking at the figure and with the given information, we can try out the required part. Okay, children? Okay. Write down the questions fast. Get ready with the question. Rhombus PQRB is inscribed in triangle ABC. So first of all, we are going to draw a figure. First of all, you have to draw a triangle ABC. Come on, draw a triangle. You have to use your scale and pencil, children. Come on, draw the figure. It's ABC. So inside this triangle, you have a rhombus. Okay. So you have to draw a rhombus, and they have given you some of the conditions. P, Q and R lie on AB. That is, P lie on AB. P is somewhat here. Q lie on AC. Q lie on AC. Then what else is given? R on BC. R on BC. So just be careful with this thing. So B, there is R on BC. So here you have P, this is Q and this is R. P lie on AB, Q lie on AC and R lie on BC. So this is the information that is given to us, and they have given you some measurements. Okay, let us join this point first of all. So try to join the points, children. PQ, you have to join the point in such a way that you have to form a rhombus, because they have told you that PQ RB is a rhombus. So draw properly. This is a rhombus. Yeah, PQRB is a rhombus, and they're saying that angle B is one of its angle. So just mark an angle over here. Angle B is one of its angle, and they have given some measurements. Let's fill the measurement. AB is 12 centimeter. So the whole part, this AB is 12 centimeter. Okay, then BC is 6 centimeters. The whole measurement from B to C, the measurement is 6 centimeter. Okay, just take the here, and here we have to use two properties of rhombus, children. all the sides of a rhombus are equal. Okay, what is the condition? All the sides of a rhombus are equal. So if you just take this part as x, this will be x, this will be x, and this will be x. Just remember, all the sides of a rhombus are equal. So x, 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 x. It has 4 sides. So all the 4 sides have the value x, because we don't know the value for the side of a rhombus. So you just take it as x, x, x. Okay, children? Okay, now one more detail here you have to fill is, the opposite sides of rhombus are parallel to each other. What is the second property you have to use? The opposite sides of a rhombus are parallel. So tell me the opposite sides over here. Now PQRB is a rhombus. Okay, children? Now here, which are the two pairs of opposite sides? The first one is PQ and BR. Agreed? PQ and BR are the opposite side. I am not talking about the whole triangle. I am just talking about the rhombus. I hope you people are able to see the rhombus here. Yes, this is a rhombus. So what is the first property we have applied here? All the sides of the rhombus are equal. So we have taken x, 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 x for the sides of a rhombus. Okay. Now we have to apply here one more property which says the opposite sides of a rhombus are parallel. So I say that PQ is parallel to BR. What is parallel? PQ is parallel to BR. And one more thing we have here. What is the next set of opposite sides? Yes, it's BP parallel to RQ. Or you can say PB parallel to QR. It's your choice. Getting my point? So I have here used your one line which shows their parallel line. Here I have used a two parallel line which shows that these two lines are a set of parallel lines. So just draw it. Just complete the figure, children. Complete the figure. Draw the figure neatly, children. Okay, shall we continue now? Now here, just observe the figure carefully, and I have told you that we can apply the basic proportionality theorem when you have some parallel lines over there. Yes? If you have a parallel lines, we can write down the ratio from it. Yes or no, children? Yes. So now here, what are we going to do? We have two set of parallel lines. So we are going to get two different set of triangles over here. That is, we are going to get two triangles, okay? So first of all, I am just going to focus on this parallel line. Just see here, children, I am going to take line PQ and BR. That is, I am going to consider PQ parallel to BR. Shall we start, children? Write down. PQ RB is a rhombus. Okay, this is what is given to us. They have told you that PQ RB is a rhombus, and I know that the opposite sides of a rhombus are parallel. So PQ RB is a rhombus. PQ is therefore PQ is parallel to BR. Okay, what is parallel? PQ is parallel to BR. Okay. I can just write one more statement. I can say that PQ is parallel to BC. Do you agree with this statement, children? See, if PQ is parallel to BR, that means this line and this line are not going to meet each other. They are different. They are never going to meet each other. That means BC and PQ will be also parallel. Just BR is a few part. It is a part of BC. So you can say that PQ is parallel to BR. We can say from that PQ is parallel to BC, the whole line. Here I have just taken a part of it. You can just take the full part, that is BC. Getting my point, children? So PQ parallel to BR. Therefore, PQ will be parallel to the whole part, that is BC. Okay. Now, which triangle are you going to consider? Just see which triangle is being formed over here. Yes, we get triangle ABC. Come on, write down the name of the triangle. Anyway, you're going to get the same triangle because here we are going to deal with the same triangle. But the thing is, you have to find a proper vertex. That's the thing that you're going to do here. So PQ parallel to BC. So in triangle ABC by BPT, that is by basic proportionality theorem, what will be the ratio? AP upon PB is equal to AQ upon QC. What do you get here? AP upon PB is equal to AQ upon QC. Clear till here? Am I going? We are going slow, yes, we are not going fast. So we have taken a rhombus, then we have taken the first set of parallel lines, and we are going to apply BPT. I get AP upon PB is equal to AQ upon QC. Still we have not done, children. We have one more step to be followed here. Okay, now let's come over here. AP upon PB. For AQ upon QC, I don't know any value. Yes, children, we don't know the value for it. But I can write the value of AP and PB in terms of X. I know the value for PB. What is the value for PB? Just see here. It is the side of the rhombus. So what is the side of the rhombus here? Or what is the side of PB? It is X. So I'll put here X. I don't know the value for AQ upon QC, so I'll keep it as it is. Now here I have to find out the value for AP. Come on, let's see how to find AP. How are you going to find AP? AB, the whole length is 12 centimeter. Are you listening to me, children? What is the value for AB? It's 12 centimeter. From 12 centimeter, if I remove PB from the whole line segment, if I remove PB, what I get? I get AP. That means from 12 centimeter, what you are going to remove? You are going to remove X. So what is this part? 12 minus X. Getting my point? So from 12, you have to remove X. So you get AP. Similarly here just see, from BC, if you remove RC, you will get this value. Getting my point? So if this is 6, here I want the value for RC. Yes, children? So from BC, I'll just draw a figure here. So this is BC. Okay. Now what is the measurement of BC? It is 6 centimeter. 6 centimeter. And what I know the value for BR. What is this value? X value. So how I get RC? That is from 6. From 6, if I remove X. If I remove X, I get RC. So this is 6 minus X. That are the measurement, children, here. 12 minus X, 6 minus X. minus X and 6 minus X. Just fill the details in the diagram. You have to fill the details over there. Do not forget to fill the details. You have a mark for your figure, children. Figure carries marks in geometry. Okay. So let us write down the value for AP. What is the value for AP? It's 12 minus X. So write down here 12 minus X. Take this as number 1. So you get 12 minus X upon X is equal to AQ upon QC. You can just mention here what is X. X is the side of a rhombus. You can just mention here in the bracket A is side of a rhombus. A is side of a rhombus. Okay, shall we go for the next part now? So we have completed the first set of parallel lines. Now you are going to focus on the next set of parallel lines. Let us take the next set of parallel lines. What you have here, just read the figure carefully. You have to just notice the figure very carefully. You have to just be careful with the figure. From the figure we get the detailed thing, or we get the required part. Now just see here, children, which part is parallel here? RQ is parallel to BP. Or you can write QR is parallel to BB, one and the same, no problem. I'll just mention here, RQ is parallel to BP. Do you agree with this? RQ is parallel to BP because we have using the properties of rhombus. What is the property we are using here? The opposite sides are parallel. So RQ is parallel to BP. Okay. Then we have used one thing over here. That is, if we are just taking a part, the whole part will be also parallel. So here see, what we started with, we said PQ is parallel to BR, and then what we said PQ is parallel to BC, the whole part. Similarly, here we are going to say RQ is parallel to BP, therefore RQ is also parallel to BA. Just mention here BA. RQ parallel to BA. Clear, children? Okay. I hope you are clear. Okay. So first is just a part, BP. If a few part is going to be parallel, the whole part will be parallel. This BP is a part of BA. Yes, children? BP is a part of BA. So if BP is parallel, the whole part, that is BA, will be parallel. Okay. So now we are going to apply the basic proportionality theorem here. So by BPT, I have told you we have to choose a proper vertex. Yes, you have to go for a proper angle over here. So CQ, I'm just going to go in this way because I am going to consider this parallel line and this parallel line. So just see how is the triangle formed. The triangle is formed this way. The triangle looks somewhat like this. So this is the triangle. So we are going to take this part as a common part. So how we will be taking the ratio? CQ upon QA. Let's go with the ratio part. CQ upon QA is equal to CQ upon QA is equal to CR upon RB. CR upon RB. What do you get? CQ upon QA. This is equal to CR upon RB. Okay, children. Just see the first point from 1. We got the first ratio. Just see the ratio here. You have AQ upon QC, and here you have CQ upon QA. Now CQ and QC is one and the same. When you just have a line segment, children, suppose we are drawing a line segment of 3 centimeter, okay, and you have just given a name as AB, okay. If you have drawn a line segment and you have given a name to the line segment, and what is the name given to the line segment? It's AB. And what is the measurement? It's going to be 3 centimeter. If I am going to measure from A to B, I am going to get 3 centimeter. And same manner, if I am going to start the measuring from B to A, I am going to get 3 centimeter. That is, if you just measure from A to B, you are going to get the same value. And if you take the measure from B to A, you are going to get the same measurement. That is for a line segment. That is for a segment, you will have the same measurement. The measurement will not change. Okay, children? So I can read this as AB or I can read this as BA. It's one and the same. AB is also will be, that is, AB will have the same value and BA will also have the same value. The values are not going to change. So you can read the segment as AB or BA. Getting my point, children? Okay. So what are we going to do? So this is CQ means QC and QA means AQ. So taking reciprocal, come on, take reciprocal. Taking reciprocal, this will get interchanged. So AQ upon QC is equal to RB upon CR. So what I get when I take the reciprocal? The QA I have just written in terms of AQ, okay children? And CQ I have written as QC. This is equal to RB upon CR. This is what I have got the ratio. Now here we are going to try out, we are just going to fill out some of the details. Let's see how to write down the details over here. Oh, I want this value, okay. So what is that? I'll just write down one step, then I'll wrap this part. So for AQ upon QC, you don't know the value, yes children? So just take down here AQ upon QC. This is equal to, what is RB? Here B was there, yes children? So what was the RB value? It was X. And what is CR value? It is 6 minus X. Already I have told you how you get the 6 minus X. So take this as number 2. So AQ upon QC is equal to X upon 6 minus X. Write down the values. AQ upon QC is equal to X upon 6 minus, when I consider the second set of parallel lines. Okay, now let's continue the next part over here. Okay, let's start with the work. So now just see 1 and 2. What do you have in 1? You have 12 minus X upon X is equal to AQ upon QC. And what you have in 2? AQ upon QC is equal to X upon 6 minus X. So what you can observe from 1 and 2? You have the common part. What is the common part over here? It's AQ upon QC and AQ upon QC. So write down here from 1 and 2. From 1 and 2, I get 12 minus X upon X is equal to X upon 6 minus X. So what do you get? So what do you have? 12 minus X upon X is equal to X upon 6 minus X. Okay children, this is what we have got from 1 and 2. Okay. Let's go for the further simplification. Now you know how to simplify it. You have to just cross multiply and you have to get the answer. Let's go for the cross multiplication children. Till here, are you clear till here children? So we got 12 minus X upon X from 1 and we got X upon 6 minus X from 2. Let's cross multiply this. So this is X square, X into X, X square. This is equal to 12 minus X into 6 minus X. We are just going to go very slow children. This is an important thing here. You may have a 5-mark question from here or a 2-mark question from here. So you have to be very careful. You cannot skip any part. I'm just explaining you the sums once or twice. So you just understand the concept clearly. So from 1 and 2 I get 12 minus X upon X is equal to X upon 6 minus X. So when I just do the cross multiplication, I get X into X is equal to X square. What is X into X? X square. Okay. And this is 12 minus X into 6 minus X. Okay, now here I'm just going to open the bracket. Let us open the bracket. What we get here? X square is kept as it is. 12 into 6. What is 12 into 6? 72. Yes. 12 into minus X. What is 12 into minus X children? Minus 12X. 12 into minus X. Minus 12X. Okay. Next. Minus X into 6. Minus X into 6. What is minus X into 6? It's minus 6X. And what is minus X into minus X? Minus minus plus. Yes. So you get here plus X square. Be careful children. Very simple. X square as it is. From where you get X square? When you cross multiply this. X into X gives you X square. 12 minus X into 6 minus X. So 12 into 6, 72. 12 into X is minus 12X. Minus X into 6 is minus 6X. Minus X minus X. Minus minus plus. And X into X gives you X square. What is the value for X into X? X square. Do not get confused. X plus X is 2X. When you add, you get 2X. And when you multiply, you have to write the power. That is X square. Okay, children? Okay. Now let's try to simplify further. Okay. Now just see here, children. We have X square, same on both the sides. You have to be very careful, children. What do you have here? X square. And what do you have here? X square. If you have X square on the same, like on both the sides, we can cancel them. Let us cancel. So what do you get here? X square gets cancelled. Getting my point? If you have the same term with the same sign, if I would be having a minus, I cannot cancel. Okay, children? Here also plus X square and here also plus X square. So we can cancel X square and X square. Okay. Clear? If you people have confusion, We have one more thing. Okay, instead of cancelling, I'll just give you, okay, I'll just do by both the methods. So this is, I cancelled x square and x square. Okay, children? Now what is left now? Here nothing is left. LH side nothing is left. So you can put here 0, 72, minus 12 minus 6. What is minus 12 minus 6? Minus 12 minus 6 is minus 18. Minus minus plus. Minus minus plus. So 12 plus 6, 18. Sign of the bigger number? Minus. So the answer is minus 18x. Okay. So now what are you going to do here? You are just going to shift this 18x to the LHS. So I get here 72, I'll just bring this 18x to this side, to the LHS side. So 18x is equal to 72. Therefore, x is equal to 72 upon 18. When you just divide 72 by 18, you get the answer as 4. 18 4s are 8 4s are 32, 72. So what is the value for x? X is equal to 4. Yes, children? What is the value for x? It's 4. I told you that I'll tell you one more method how to get the answer. You'll have a same method. I hope you people are clear. When you can cancel this term, you can cancel the term when it is same. The sign also should be same. So 72 minus 18x. So 72, here I have minus sign. Okay, children? So I'm going to bring this to the LHS. So 18x is equal to 72. X is equal to 72 upon 18. You get the value for x is equal to 4. And just one alternative method. Do not do it. Okay, children? This is one more method. I just did by cancellation, yes? So you are not going to do, this is one method. I am going to teach you one extra method. So what is the statement you have here? X square is equal to 72 minus 12x minus 6x plus x square. This is what you have. For the first step, I just cancel this two. Okay. So now here what I am going to do, I am going to bring all the x on one side. What can we do? We are going to bring all the x on one side. So x square, this is plus x squared. So when it comes to this side, minus x square. This is minus 12x. So when it comes to this side, plus 12x. Minus 6x. When it comes to this side, plus 6x. Getting my point? This is very easy step. Okay. This is also easy. Both are easy, no problem. So x square, here one x square. And what I am going to do, I am just going to bring all the x terms on one side. So plus x square when it goes to the LHS, minus x square, minus 12x plus 12x, minus 6x plus 6x. 72 is kept over here. Again, x square gets cancelled. 12 plus 6 is 18, and you have 72, and that's what we get. Same thing, children. Mostly we get the same thing. Getting my point? So you have a different way of solving the sum. So what we have found here, we have found the value of x. What is the value for x? It's 4. Okay, now you have to write down the final statement. What is the final statement? What is the question they have asked here? They have asked you to find the sides PQRB, and we have taken the all sides. We have told that all the sides of a rhombus are equal, and we have given the sides of a rhombus as x. Yes, children? You can write down, therefore, find the sides. So write down, length of PQ is, what is the unit given to you? Centimeter. So length of PQ is 4 centimeter, and length of PQ, and one more thing, RB. RB is 4 centimeter. Length of PQ is 4 centimeter, and length of RB is 4 centimeter. So this is what we have found. So we have found the value for x, and we have mentioned that A is the side of the rhombus. So we can complete our answer by saying that length of PQ is 4 centimeter and length of RB is 4 centimeter. With this we complete our sum number 5. Okay, children, so we have just done two sums. That is sum number 4 and sum number 5. We used the BPT. Yes, children, that is we have applied basic proportionality theorem, and we have derived at the answer. Now it's time for your homework, children. You are going to complete sum number 6 and sum number 7 as your homework. Okay. Sum number 6 and sum number 7. Till sum number 7 we deal with a basic proportionality theorem, and from sum number 8 we will be dealing with angle bisector theorem. We have one more theorem, that is angle bisector theorem. So in the next class I'll be explaining you what is a angle bisector theorem, and we will be dealing with the sums based on angle bisector theorem. Okay children? Okay, so just take down your homework children. Your homework is from exercise 4.2, sum number 6 and 7. Okay children? Try to complete these two sums. Use the basic proportionality theorem and you will get the answer. Okay children? So we will be continuing with the remaining sums in the next class.